This is Gonzalo Lira from El Heraldo, Mexico. Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing great also. I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to talk with you. I love the show and I love most of the things that you do actually. And it makes me think because we've seen you since forever, since Freaks and Geeks, and
Crazy,
the things
right?
that you've done. Yeah, I know the things that you've done with Nick Stoller and stuff like that. And this character goes through a learning path that kind of starts late. You know, he takes his time to start learning. Thinking about you starting so young, what would you say that this show has taught you, although it came late in your career?
What a great question. I view my career in these chapters, and maybe it's because I'm a writer, but I see these stages of them, you know? And there was this period where I don't even know if I chose comedy or if we met, but it took me for a ride, like this beautiful ride of my 20s. And in my early 30s, I thought to myself, really want to find out if I'm good at drama, So then I took this other ride into doing these indie dramas and building up these skills and answering some questions for myself that I had. And then Shrinking came along and it required all of it. It was like the end of an M. Night Shyamalan movie where you look back and you're like, oh, it all adds up. Like it was all pointing to this show. That's the thing that I've kind of noticed most in my narrative brain about shrinking in my life. It was this thing that suddenly you need to be able to use all the stuff that you knew you were good at, like making people laugh and embarrassing yourself and being brutally vulnerable. And you also need to not be afraid standing across from Harrison Ford ripping your guts out. And now I had the backpack of all those tools.
But also now you get to work with Brett Goldstein just in front of the camera. You're both writers, actors. I wanted to ask you, how has it been, to develop these two characters that have to clash and reconciliate, since you both have those sides, the writing and the acting processes?
The other side that we have in common is that we're both weirdly sensitive, gentle boys. And so a lot of the thing that was special, I think, about our dynamic is that both of those characters have kind of shells and damage, but underneath they're very soft, they're very alike underneath all their damage. And I think that was special for Brett and I. That scene where we sit next to each other at the train tracks felt very true and quiet and intimate of man, life is tricky. Yeah, it sure is.
At the end of second season, that happens. And I wanted to ask you another thing, because you're talking about being vulnerable. How did you manage to show the vulnerable side of Harrison? I mean, come on, guys. You made it. How much of the show has to do with it? How much of the confidence working with him for so many years? Because doing a show is different from making a movie,
I think it's the bravery and the artistry of Harrison. Because to me, that is the true definition of art, is how honest are you willing to be between action and cut? That speech that he gives at the end of season 2 about, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this job, and it's an honor to be doing it with you guys. We were sitting there watching, and there were a bunch of young people in the room too. And I kept wondering if they understood how special it was, what they were witnessing. But I remember thinking oh, I'm watching a master do it. He's doing it right now. This thing that we're all trying to achieve out there.
And I hope the three of you, the whole bunch of you, keep doing this for quite a while. Jason, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. Have a good day.
Thanks, man. You too.